Today's video, we're going to be checking out the SH Figuarts. This is the Dark Knight Joker. Now, obviously there's going to be a lot to cover off with these figures with the tons of accessories that SH Figuarts are known for. Before we do that though, let's figure out how tall Mr. J is. The Joker is approximately 6 inches in height. Like I said, he's going to come with a lot of accessories, but before we do that, let's have a look at the figure itself. I have to admit, normally I'm a big fan of the SH Figuart line. I think both they have tons of articulation, and notably so, they also have a lot of detailing and pretty good sculpts all around. Then we unfortunately get to Joker here, and I have to admit, I'm not a fan of this face. The face seems underdefined, and it seems like the paint just kind of flushes out any of the detailing that's on his face. It's almost got too much of face paint to his face that a lot of details get lost here. And I have to say, it's not one of the nicest looking Joker head sculpts, not one bit. Notable traits such as, of course, his off-colored hair actually come across more like brown than it does green. I'm not sure why they opted to go with more of a brown color, but I feel like it just doesn't really look like him all that much. I mean, it's got things to it that would automatically resonate as a Heath Ledger Joker, the very dark patched eyes, and of course, the very long, deformed, scarred smile here. Smile. But it's otherwise just doesn't really seem like it delivers all that well. In fact, actually, you know what? Looking at it, it reminds me of, if you ever get those, or if you've ever seen them in stores, the 3D rendered faces. You know, That's My Face, I think, is one of them, where they take your face and they print it, but they print it in such a way that it always looks like it's a faded kind of airbrushing. I get almost that sort of vibe when I'm looking at Joker here. The rest of his body is actually nicely defined. It's just a shame that his face almost comes across like a blurred mess. Joker consists of his outer coat, which has the interior orange, the metallic orange on the inside there. And then he also has the jacket on the inside, which, as you can see, is only just the edge. The inside gives you the cheat in which he is wearing the jacket, but he really truthfully isn't. It's just the little outer edge of the larger jacket that he's wearing. Has, of course, his greenish vest, and then his hexagonal shirt and tie. Everything looks good on the guy, unfortunately, except for his face. One little nice touch that I like about this particular figure is he's even got the swing out blades on his feet. So the feet, providing the camera will focus on me, there we go. The feet blades will swing out, as you can see there, and he's got the little blades there that they painted very, very subtly in almost a chrome silver. So I do like that. That's a nice little added touch that I appreciate. It's just a shame, like, his face ruins what could have been potentially a really great looking figure. He comes with also a couple of series of interchangeable heads. He comes with this one, which, in all honesty, doesn't really look that much different than this one here. I suppose you could say that this one here has the part of the cheek slightly curled, as if he's got more of a smile on this one than he does here, but really, it's not that much different than one another. That I would have liked, if anything, a face like this, the smiling face that we're going to look at, and then a hysterical mouth open laugh as well. To change out the heads, you're simply actually just going to grab onto the head here, and you have to pry it away from the back of the head. Now, the back of the head can stay in place. It doesn't necessarily require you to take off both halves. I suppose you could take off both halves. It does look like it could be removed. And just simply go ahead and replace the face. It's somewhat seamless, what they've accomplished here. Around the ears, at least. On the top of the head, you get a little bit more of a defined line, where you can see that the head has been cut in half. But again, it's going back to more of a light brown almost borderline orange than it does a green. I really don't know why they went the route of going this color. Again, those are your two faces. They're really not that much different from one another, other than maybe the little curl on the one side of the lip. The other head is this head here, which has a much more expressioned look on his face. And actually, the more bigger, obvious smile I find looks even less like Joker than this one right here. For the sake of showing you though, we'll just go ahead again. Fingernails probably can be your best friends when removing these head sculpts. The last thing you would want to do is, I suppose you could take like a flat-headed screwdriver just to get your finger under there, or get the part under there to separate from itself. And we'll go ahead and place the new head over top. I honestly don't think that looks like Joker. In fact, I don't even think that laugh, that smile that this figure has looks like Joker. It actually looks more female than it does anything else. So I think, if anything, I would be more inclined to go with one of these head sculpts more so than this head sculpt here. I think this is actually the worst of the three. Though I have to say, in its defense, the paint seems one of the better ones here than maybe it does on the defaulted head. Okay, so let's have a look at some of his accessories. Yeah, again, oh, I lost a hand in the process. Again, one of the problems, biggest problem with this particular figure is not so much the body. The body is about what you would expect. It's the head. The head just really kind of disappoints an otherwise pretty good-looking figure. So let's have a look at his accessories. We'll start with the largest and we'll work our way down. He has himself a rocket launcher that he is driving in the, well, he's in the back with the meat truck. Laughter is the best medicine, and actually I think he changes it to slaughter. I don't even think it's a meat truck. I think it's like a circus storage truck. And he changes the laughter is the best medicine to slaughter, which I think is kind of cool. Anyways, he does come with the rocket launcher, which looks really nice. Also comes with the machine gun. Although the swing out, the clip part here, the part that rests against the arm, doesn't actually hinge out. It's just attached, just molded to the rest of the machine gun, so you can't remove it. Also comes with, initially, what I thought was the knife, but I think it's like a potato peeler. And the smallest of details, actually one of which, funny enough story, a very quick story, getting this all out of packaging, I thought I lost the card. So I was ultimately planning on breaking some bad news to you guys, the viewers, when I was going to have a look at this. I thought I had lost the card, but sure enough, the card was actually still in the clamshell. Whoosh. Then he comes with a series of interchangeable hands. One of the hands was a relaxed hand, which I just actually dropped. Hold on one second, let me go grab that. To do this right, it would make sense probably just to go and pick up the hand. He comes with a pair of relaxed hands, and actually it comes, like I said, with a lot of hands. So it's what you would expect with an SH Figuarts figure. So he does come with a pair of relaxed hands. I just so happen to have one hand in the socket right now, and then the other hand would be over here. To put the new hands in, I have to admit that the clips, normally I think they're generally this length anyways, but I think it's because the sleeve, the cuff of the sleeve is longer than what most arms tend to be. It does make for a little more of a trickier feat to attach the hand into the socket because he's got the cuff of the sleeve jetting out. We'll put him down here. Comes with also, let's see if we can kind of group these all together. Comes with a pair of fists. Yeah, kind of boring, I know, yeah. Comes with, like again, the series of just kind of holding hands. Hands for holding the weapons, hands for holding the blades. Kind of comes with a pointing hand. And kind of comes with, again, just a series of different gripping hands. He comes with almost what I would say too many hands. I mean, enough of the hands can sustain whatever gripping you would want. For example, like this hand here, although it's a little tighter, you can get him to hold the blade, but then he comes with all these extra hands that I don't really think is all that necessary, certainly to the level that you would need them for. So, I mean, he comes with a total of 9 hands, plus really the 2 that are in the socket, so 11 hands. I kind of think it's a little too much, but SH Figuarts, again, you tend to get a lot of interchangeable hands and heads and stuff like that when you get these figures. Let's run through his posability. His head rotates all the way around, as well as hinge up and down. The joints on his arms do hinge outward, although a lot of times when you are hinging the arm out, it does want to catch itself against the top area of its jacket. So when you hinge the arm out, you may have to just kind of keep pulling it, or at the very least try to see if it clears that area there. The arms then will allow you to rotate them all the way around. He's got not quite a double hinge on the elbow, but kind of just like one fluid hinge. Hinges up and down. He's got the rotation and hinge on the hands. But again, when you are rotating the hands, it just doesn't seem like there's nearly enough peg to give you, where rotating the hands, eventually the hands do want to pop off a lot. Upper torso ball joint. Lower torso waist swivel. Legs appear to have a ball joint. The same sort of joint as the hinge in the elbow here. And then he's got not only a ball joint in the foot, which also allows an ankle pivot, but he also has a hinge in the toe. So right there, I don't know if you can see it, right there, there's a secondary hinge. It's not easy to actually get to. But this one here can hinge perfectly fine. I find this one is a little on the stiffer side to move. But you can see, though, that both feet do have an extra hinge there to add to it as well. No peg holes on the undersides of his feet. I suppose the figure does stand fine on his own. I mean, between the articulation in all the leg joints and stuff like that, and the fact that he has pretty flat feet, the figure Joker here doesn't seem to have too many problems standing. Granted, again, if you want to have him a little bit more dynamic, you may have to look to getting yourself maybe like a clip, a waist clip stand, or something like a clip around his legs, and then you can have the one leg a little bit more poised. Again, you can get some good poses as long as pretty much both feet are flatly planted on the surface. I find that some SH Figuart figures work better than others. Sure, in most cases you get interchangeable heads, interchangeable hands, and a slew of different accessories that you can mix and match, so you can really customize it exactly the way that you want to have it displayed. But ultimately, if any of the things to that figure fall short, it kind of ruins it for the overall figure. Take Joker here, for example. A good body sculpt, tons of interchangeable accessories, but ultimately I find he misses his mark on his head. He's one of the worst looking SH Figuarts figures based on a live action movie property that I feel he just doesn't deliver the Heath Ledger Joker that I would have wanted. Paint seams at times looks a little awkward. I don't know really why they went with more of an orange colored hair instead of the off green hair that he has in the movie. And in all honesty, I find like the head sculpts, the one that we're looking at here in Final Looks, for example, being the worst, I find none of the head sculpts really look like him. Sad to say, as much as I really wanted the Heath Ledger Joker to turn out nice from SH Figuarts, ultimately, I find it's disappointing. If you can overlook the fact that he does have a head sculpt that doesn't quite look like Heath Ledger, maybe this is the Joker you would want to pick up. I would hope maybe along the ways, though, we may get ourselves another Heath Ledger Joker that could replace this one, because I really do feel like this one could use a little bit more work, especially in the head sculpts. Today we were having a look at the Bandai SH Figuarts. This was the Dark Knight Joker, an otherwise ho-hum figure. You can currently find him at your local comic book stores. If you can't find a comic book store in your area, no, I'm not sponsored by Comic Shop Locator. Head over to www.comicshoplocator.com, put in your zip code or your postal code, bingo bango, you can find a comic book store in your area. More videos to follow, guys. If you also want to go back and have a look at my previously looked at SH Figuarts reviews, don't worry, I got a playlist. It's called SH Figuart Reviews. Simple enough. As always, guys, thanks for watching. More videos to come. I'll see you guys next time.